have played their way back into the mix in the Big West, led by their three-headed monster that is Kyle Allman, Khalil Ahmad, and Jackson Rowe. Every year, and if the Matadors lose tonight, they lock up ninth. Reggie Theus trying to play. Cal State Fullerton's in town. They're playing for a share of a
from sports medicine and orthopedics to emergency and maternity services. Hello, human kindness.
Basketball turn up and in for three. Got it!
Are you kidding me? We have just been treated to one of the most remarkable finishes in women's basketball this season.
It's what powers our journey to reach unimaginable heights. It's the
Big West. We are underway. The Big West basketball turn up and in for three. Got it!
Are you kidding me? We have just been treated to one of the most remarkable finishes in women's basketball this season.
We're in Northridge, California for the final week of Big West play. Cal State Fullerton's in town. They're playing for a share of a conference title, while CSUN needs to win to stay alive in their pursuit of an invite to the Big West tournament. It's the Titans and the Matadors in the Matadome right now.
All right, family, who's ready to have a great time tonight? Who's ready? Who's ready? That sounded super lazy. Let me ask you again. Who's ready for a great time tonight? Who's ready? That sounds a little more like it. All right. All right, first, let's get into the building. Make some noise for our rally squad.
Can't stop, won't stop, get what? Tell white toes from the boy flip flop.
Let's get it, rally squad. Let's get it, ladies.
When they say I'm not hot, always lies in the stop, cause I'm icy, white, haters gonna fight. Never been on my I'm Peter, white, keep my hands clean, got some haters with wish I could touch. I'm going with got me out. Unlikely, my mistake is getting icy. I'm talking about a minute, cause my time is getting icy. Yeah, I be what a boss be, tripping to my mind, to live in my energy, to take a better, so I can live a luxury. Looking in the mirror, I think I feel what I'm about to be. Even with my enemies, I make it look friendly. So, here's the
to know who's excited tonight, who's ready tonight, who's ready? If you're ready to have a great time tonight, I need you to sing this with me. Here we go. Sing this with me. Here we go. I got you. I don't hear you. Sing it. Yes. Oh, wait. I can't get them good music to work out to be pumped too, right? What kind of music should I give them? Terrible music? How about this? You can't get hyped to this. You can't be like, I'm a dumbo. You can't get hyped to this, you can't. Say what? All right, here they come. Make some noise for your Matador. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Matador for tonight's game between the visiting Cal State Fullerton Titans and your CSUN Matador. For those who are able, we please ask that you rise and move your hats as we honor our troops serving at home and around the world with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Now let's meet the next starting lineup first from the visiting Titans. Starting for the 6'7" sophomore, wearing number 34, Jackson Rowe.
We're in Northridge, California for the final week of Big West play. Cal State Fullerton's in town. They're playing for a share of a conference title while CSUN needs to win to stay alive in their pursuit of an invite to the Big West tournament. It's the Titans and the Matadors in the Matadome right now. Well, Cal State Fullerton has now won 4 of their last 5 entering this final week of the regular season, and they've played their way back into the mix in the Big West, led by their 3-headed monster that is Kyle Allman, Khalil Ahmad, and Jackson Rowe. Meanwhile, the story is simple for CSUN. 8 teams get into the Big West tournament every year, and if the Matadors lose tonight, they lock up 9th. Reggie D is trying to make sure that doesn't happen here on senior night. Let's have a look at the standings in the Big West Conference. You can see where these teams are at right now. For Cal State Fullerton, I know they sit in 4th at the moment, but if the chips fall their way, there is still a scenario in which the Titans can get at least a share of the Big West Conference championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Trent Rush. With me is Richie Schuler, former college basketball head coach. And Richie, I know for Cal State Fullerton, when you're looking at the standings where these teams are at, it can seem a little lopsided. Titans got to be careful tonight.
Yeah, they can't take CSUN lightly. It's a trap game. You look at the record and you think, man, I can just breeze right by these guys. They can't do that. CSUN is talented, they're dangerous, and they're fighting for their playoff lives. They have to win tonight if they want to be in the conference tournament.
Yeah, no kidding. There's a lot at stake here in this game, and that's the kind of game when you turn to your stars, and there are plenty of them. Kyle Allman, somebody I think is going to get a lot of votes when it comes time to pick a conference player of the year.
As he should. Second leading scorer in the Big West Conference. He's a guy that can drive it to the basket. He's a slasher. He's an attacker, but he also is a guy that can shoot at a high clip from three-point range. His ranginess, his long arms make him a great defender. He definitely is a player of the year candidate. Statistics all the way around. You'll see what he can do on both ends of the floor, but I really like his maturity and how he's grown as a player. Really starting to understand pace and using that to his advantage on the basketball court. But you know what? CSUN has their own weapon, but he's a four-man, a stretch four-man in Tavrion Dawson. The lefty, the driver, scores around the basket, hits those mid-range elbow shots, but also a guy that can be a deep threat, so versatile and can post inside. He was a guy last year that was all-conference at 17 points a game. He can be very well be first-team all-conference in this season.
Richie, I like that. Both of these guys could have a chance to be in that all-conference first team. When you put their numbers side by side, I mean, it's been pretty remarkable what both guys have been able to do. I mean, Tavrion Dawson really has had to carry the load though for CSUN.
He has, and I know he's not shooting the three ball very well, but you have to respect it. He is almost 7 rebounds per game, as well as distributing to his teammates as well. Tavrion Dawson is a very talented basketball player, but Kyle Allman, he fills up the stat sheet too. He could be player of the year.
Player of the year, he should get consideration for most improved. We're going to talk about our picks a little bit later on in the program. Here's the 5 for Cal State Fullerton. We mentioned Allman, Ahmad, and Rowe. Those are the big 3. Look out for Austin Owishka as well, a great facilitator. And Arkim Robertson, the only senior in this group. As for CSUN, one notable name not in the lineup, that's Michael Warren, a senior guard who's missed the last 2 games with concussion. He's their second leading scorer. So Carl Brown going to get some PT. He had 8 points, 5 boards against Santa Barbara last time out.
Well, Carl Brown is a player that's not quite as polished as Mikey Warren, not quite a guy that's going to have as many stats on the board, but he's going to have to fill that void tonight.
And Dieter Taylor, the head coach of the Titans in his 5th season, the former assistant at Arizona State for Herb Sendek. As for CSUN, Reggie Theus is now in his 5th year. I know that when Reggie Theus was hired here, they were expecting this program to be in a different place by this point than they were before. But Reggie Theus next year would be the first where he'd have a full boat, 13 scholarships. Cal State Fullerton is in blue as they take the opening tip. And it's Owishka to bring it up for the Titans. CSUN in their home whites here on senior night for the Matadors.
Well, what you're going to see from Cal State Fullerton is they are going to try to attack the paint, and there's one paint touch right there, all because Khalil Ahmad brought the defensive attention to him, and it left Robertson open for an easy layup.
That's been an area we've seen CSUN have their fair share of struggles this year, has been against more physical inside teams. Not that Cal State Fullerton's one of the bigger teams in this league, but if Rowe and Robertson get going, that can be a huge matchup problem for the Matadors. That's Theus on the miss.
Both these teams are going to play very much the same offensively. They're going to try to spread the floor, and they're going to try to attack the basket. You can see CSUN rather, already trapping inside the post when Jackson Rowe catches it. That's going to leave some three-point shooters open.
Ullman with the take, gets hit going up, and now he'll go to the scrum. Foul's going to be called against Reggie Theus Jr., the coach's son. Wears the C on his chest as a captain. Playing 23 minutes a night.
I like how he's improved this year. He was 3 points, 1 board last year. Reggie Theus Jr. in a completely different role, playing out of position, having to play the post due to no post players on this team, really. Not enough of them anyway. Reggie Theus Jr. has doubled it at 6 points, 2 boards a game, but he has gotten better throughout the course of the season. We've seen him have some very productive games for the Matadors.
So we're a minute into this game. It's 4-0 Cal State Fullerton as Terrell Gomez will bring it up for CSUN. He's actually been the Big West leader in minutes this year as a freshman. Carl Brown with his first touch of the game as CSUN works it around. And Schreiner with the 3 in and out. That's Rowe trying to hang on to the rebound. He couldn't do it, so second life here for the Matadors.
Well, look for the defense on both sides also to run a little bit of a 2-3 zone. Both these teams like to go full man-to-man. But when you have guys like Tavrion Dawson that can take you one-on-one like that, I think you're going to have to switch up your defenses from time to time.
The Dawson-Rowe matchup tonight is going to be a really fun one. Probably the thing we're keeping the closest eye on. There's Ullman with the take, man. He is so shifty at getting to the hoop.
I have to agree with you. Dawson and Rowe, those two, you know, those are two of the better four-mans in the conference. And so keeping one another out of foul trouble is going to be key for each one of those players.
There's Theus with the take. That makes it a 2-point game. 6-4 Cal State Fullerton leading CSUN here 2 minutes into this one. So Wishica with it now, back to Ullman. Ullman already has 4. Down low, Robertson. It's a good pass from Rowe. He gets his own rebound and scores it. It's too easy for him.
You're seeing CSUN, though, when the ball touches the post, they're trying to get the ball out of the post and kick out to a perimeter player. I'm seeing some traps. I'm seeing some double teams. When Robertson got that rebound, he had 3 players around him.
Gomez with it as it stripped. That was a Wishica with the poke. Now Khalil Ahmad trying to test out where Theus was going to close in. Theus going to get called for the foul, and that's down 2 already on Reggie Theus Jr. 2.5 minutes into this game.
It's not the way that he wants to go out. Early in the first half, Coach Reggie Theus going to have to make a decision. Look at Ahmad, though, playing games with him. He was slowing down just so he could get position for the dunk, but also put position of for Reggie Theus Jr. to foul him.
I want to get your take as a coach, though. In that scenario, don't you just want Ahmad going right to the hoop?
You do. Yeah. Absolutely, you do. I know Ahmad wanted the Thunder Slam, though.
Bringing it down here in the Matador. 9-4, Titans by 5. As Ahmad misses there. So here comes Gomez bringing it up. Carl Brown. Dawson can take it up top. He can put it on the ground. That's something that he's really worked on, has improved it. There he is with the take. Goes to that left hand, missed it. Mamadou Kaba-Kamara comes in and Kaba scores it.
I tell you, that's an area where both teams can benefit. Offensive rebounds and putbacks. Either one of these teams has a ton of size, usually one guy on the floor with good size.
So Mott at that last miss. You mentioned the rebounding. Cal State Fullerton 12-3 this year when they've out-rebounded their opponents. Probably hasn't happened as often as Dedrick Taylor would like. Meanwhile, that's Lyric Schreiner, the sophomore transfer from TCU with that bucket.
Step back's a tough shot, too.
Last time these teams met, it was an 18-point game. Cal State Fullerton ran away with it, but just matchup-wise, it's kind of a matchup problem in some ways for CSUN because they're so similar. Or for Cal State Fullerton, excuse me. In the corner, that's Ahmad with the miss. possession arrow going to favor CSUN here, so Kaba earned that one.
Yeah, he came in the game, got himself a rebound and a putback, and then a jump ball, so now they received the basketball back, and hey, this is one of the most improved players on this team. This is a guy that I think Reggie Theus Jr. believes by his senior year can be an extremely effective player in the Big West Conference.
And Schreiner with it. Just a one-point game right now. CSUN could take the lead here. They're trying to do that with Brown's three, no good. Dawson on the offensive glass, though. Another jump ball. This one will go to the Titans. He'll set the side. It's Cal State Fullerton by one here on senior night at the Matadome in the Valley.
It's what powers our journey to reach unimaginable heights. It's the bedrock of our conviction that nothing's impossible. It transforms us and sets us free to thrive and build lives of purpose. Titan pride is at the heart of who we are.
Which of these teams is going to put their spot in the big dance? Pass it in. Wow. Boom! What a finish here at Honda Center.
Cal State Fullerton by a point here at the Matadome in Northridge, California. I'm Trent Rush, Richie Schuler's with me. Let's look at these teams as we put them side by side, Richie. Some pretty stark disparity there, especially with points. Cal State Fullerton, the third leading scoring team in the conference.
Well, look at the defense. That's what I really look at. You look at those two defensive ones, blocks and steals, and Cal State Fullerton is better in that area. And then you talk about how Cal State Fullerton's 12-3 when they out-rebound their teams. Well, it's defense and rebounding. That's how you win basketball games. That's where you see separation among teams, especially throughout conference play.
It's kind of weird to see the Matadors shooting just over 70% from the foul line. That's been one thing about Reggie Theus' program. While he's never had a winning season here, his teams have always been good at shooting free throws, and that's been a problem this season.
Yeah, there's been a lot of issues for CSUN this year, and that's certainly one of them. And you know, usually those chippies are usually among the best in the country.
It's Owishika, who's been starting more here in the second half of Big West play. Really was coming off the bench for a while. Jackson Roll open for three. You know, he hasn't missed many of those, shooting just a tick under 50% from behind the arc. That's up over 20% from last year.
Well, you talked about Owishika and how much better he's improved the second half. You're absolutely right. Teams are scared of him, and he has made a scary improvement in the second half of Big West play. He's a guy that can do a lot of different things. CSUN's going to need a lot of that to beat this Fullerton squad.
Terrell Gomez, the second leading three-point shooter in this conference, just knocked down that tray to give the Matadors a 2-point lead here. Again, nothing easy in the Big West Conference. Stranger things have happened. Robertson with two guys on. That's Kaba with the swat, and Kaba brings it down. Now a reset for CSUN is Gomez, who just knocked down that last three. Trying to make his case for Big West Freshman of the Year, which I think it's down to him and Bugs at one.
I think so, too. Gomez was the leader in a lot of people's minds for a long time, but the way CSUN has slid down the standings, you almost have to give it to Bugs. Their stats are so comparable, and Hawaii's playing so much better.
Long two for Dawson. A little run here for CSUN. All gets entered back down to Robertson, who had the first bucket of the game. Kaba's all over him. The up and under works, though. Got right around him, and Robertson with some words for the big man from Ginn afterwards.
The big guys want a block shot, so if you can do a little up and under move the way Robertson did, and get him up in the air, you're going to have an opportunity to get a clean shot off. He did.
That last bucket ended a 9-0 run for CSUN. Back into the corner. That's Dawson, an air ball. Robertson. Check that as right to the basket. Robertson clearing out that space for him, and he drove through.
Khalil Ahmad has got some serious leg lift. I mean, you've seen him drive to the hole now 3 times, and every time he's been so explosive to the basket.
3 from Gomez off. Robertson and Kaba getting into it here. Keep an eye on those guys. Last couple of possessions have been chippy. This time it's Rowe held up by Gomez, so foul shots coming for the Titan big.
I tell you, Gomez had no chance against Rowe. Size on size. That's like having a pocket knife in a sword fight. Small guy on big guy.
Well, now we're going to see Rowe go to the line. 3rd leading scorer on this team. They're the leading rebounder, the reigning freshman of the year in the Big West. First free throw good. And between Jackson Rowe and Khalil Ahmad, I mean, the last 2 freshmen of the year in this conference.
There it is right there. And I like that they didn't call that foul on Cabo.
Me too.
Because a lot of times if you're tall and you get in the mix like that, they're going to call the foul and you're going to say over the back, right? At 7 feet tall, he shouldn't be penalized for that.
We've seen that called a lot this year in college basketball. More so than years past, but I'm with you, Richie.
What about when Mamadou Ndiaye was at UC Irvine?
He was impossible to go.
7'6". Yeah, because things like that would happen. It's like not his fault. It's just his body frame. It's his size and height. Felt like he was at a disadvantage when it came to calls like that.
Ball goes into Dawson trying to back down Ahmad, and he traveled in the process. Ahmad getting a hand slap right there by his teammate Devon Clare, liking the defense on the mismatch. Clare with it right now. Caba's all over, getting those hands up. I like his energy on defense, Richard. On the take, it's Ullman. Second chance after Rowe poked it loose, and he converts. Well done.
Yeah, look at the explosion, too. And Rowe, was it Rowe that got that tip, or Devon Clare, whoever that was, tipped it right to Ullman, and his explosion is the one. One reason Ullman is so good at finishing is he gets off the ground so high. Him and Ahmad look like one of the 2 best scorers on the team. They look like they've had a lot of rest. This time of year, players usually are dragging, they're tired. Those guys are really getting off the floor well.
Well, I think Dedrick Taylor would tell you that maybe they took an inadvertent rest for a couple of weeks, a few weeks ago, but now they're back on track. That's Ahmad gets it going to the basket, so Ahmad will get free throws after this. Fullerton by 4, Titans on an 8-0 run.
It's what powers our journey to reach unimaginable heights. It's the bedrock of our conviction that nothing's impossible. It transforms us and sets us free to thrive and build lives of purpose. Titan pride is at the heart of who we are.
We are underway to the Big West basketball tournament.
Up and in for 3. Got it!
Are you kidding me? We have just been treated to one of the most remarkable finishes in women's basketball this season.
Oh, it is almost turning time. CSUN trying to get there. They need to win tonight. Right now, they're down by 4 if the Titans just gone on an 8-0 run. Meanwhile, the Big West tournament coming to Cal State Fullerton and Honda Center on the women's side. It's March 6th through the 10th. Richie, you ready for it? Ready to go?
I'm ready. Are you?
I'll be there. Yeah.
We'll be there together.
Come hang with the two of us. We'll have a good time hanging out in OC. Cal State Fullerton, first 2 rounds, and then the semifinals and final at Honda Center. Here on ESPN3, we'll have everything leading up to that championship game. For more info, go to bigwest.org. There's Reggie Diaz talking to his team right now, trying to find a way to stop this run of the Titans. It all starts with number 4 in the middle, Tavion Thompson.
Well, I know what he's talking about. He has to be talking about the fact that they've committed 4 turnovers. Cal State Fullerton had 0, so they need to force some more turnovers and do a better job of taking care of the basketball. But Cal State Fullerton, they have 17 points, right? 12 are inside the paint. You have to protect your house better. That has to be something of more importance for this team.
Ball goes to Claire. Now it's Ullman getting in the paint. He gets hit going up. Drawing some contact of Lyric Schreiner right there. Fans don't like that call, but I think that was a pretty creative play by Ullman to create that contact.
Well, here's the thing too. Now Ullman's going to get 1-2 free throws. Look at the move. Look how high he gets off the floor, and Schreiner has to foul him because he's able to finish and convert so well. But now he's going to get what, 1-2 points here at the free throw line? That doesn't count for points in the paint, but he gets those free throws because he got into the paint.
That's been one thing we've seen Deidre Taylor's team do so well this year, getting and ones, getting to the foul line. They don't shoot very many threes. They shoot the fewest of any team in the Big West Conference, but they get a lot of three-point play chances because they get to the rack and finish through contact.
Well, when you get to the rim like that, it opens up the three-pointer, because if the defense is any good, they're going to start putting some more guys inside the paint to take away the drive.
Brown with the miss on the other end.
See, like that, right there. Smith could have taken that shot. He decided he didn't want to take it. He wanted to get a better shot, but that was open because everybody was worried about the drive.
Another open look, and Ullman knocks it down. Right on cue, Richie Shue. Well, that's something Deidre Taylor's talked about with this team. It's getting those, not just the first paint touch, but the second paint touch, creating those chances. It's a 13-0 run now for Cal State Fullerton. Right after CSUN had taken the 13-11 lead, or excuse me, the 13-9 lead. It's been all tight since. Dawson missed. Claire the rebound.
See, that's really good defense by Jackson Rowe, not allowing him to get more than about 3 feet outside the paint.
Ron gets caught in some trouble. I think Rowe might have been last to touch. It's either going to be him or Schreiner. They're going to say it was Schreiner. So it'll stay with Cal State Fullerton. Ullman with it. He already has 11. Cleared the reverse and lays it in.
That's the guy that they say is like Draymond Green, because he can drive it, he can pass it, he can rebound, he can bring the ball up the floor. He's their version. You can see some of his versatility there.
And now a 15-0 run for Cal State Fullerton. So clearly they got down and they had awakened the beasts that are the Titans, and they have gone off on a nice little run here.
Well, you know, they had won 3-4 games in a row, and then last week lost at UC Riverside, another team that's down in the standings of the Big West Conference. They won a game versus Long Beach State at home the other day on Saturday, but this is a game kind of like UC Riverside. You're on the road against a team that's struggling in the conference. It's a trap game. It's a game that they can't take for granted. They have to make sure they know these guys have some explosive athletes. So coming out of that first time out, I'm sure they remind them, guys, you're playing down to their level. We're better than this. Cal State Fullerton is a squad that can still finish #1 in the regular season of the Big West Conference, but tournament, for sure, they can certainly win the conference tournament.
Cal State Fullerton is a team that has a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. They're a team that's competing, like you just mentioned, for at least a share of the tournament, or of the title of the regular season. As it's stripped by Smith, that's Ahmad who gets it right back to Smith for the lay-in. Meanwhile, CSUN, a team that's just trying to get into the Big West dance, a conference tournament that takes 8 of the 9. Guevara able to get it into Schreiner in the corner. So we're past the midway point here in this first half. Hey, good take by Schreiner. He draws the contact and now appears to be in some pain as he goes to the ground, but also right back up. Foul's going to be called on Jackson Rowe. It's his first. And the first against Cal State Fullerton after 10:09.
If Schreiner can make the second free throw here, expect to see them go back into like a little 2-2-1 press because Fullerton is just raining the ball down their throat. I mean, they've got to slow them down, slow this game down defensively because it's way, way too easy for Cal State Fullerton to get baskets around the rim.
Third leading offense in the conference is Cal State Fullerton, while CSUN, their defense that was second 3 weeks ago, has fallen all the way to 7th in the Big West. They go inside the row, knocked loose, will stay with Cal State Fullerton here. Kyle Ullman Jr., the junior from Brooklyn, 11 points, leading all scorers in this game. Now just 7 away from the 1,000-point club at Cal State Fullerton. There's a Wishika all the way to the basket.
I mean, that's embarrassing. If I'm a CSUN basketball player, I have zero pride in my defense right now. That's embarrassing. How easy has it been for CSUN to just march down and get layups uncontested? That's like the third one. That's embarrassing.
Kicked out of bounds by Khalil Ahmad. You just kind of wonder, where's that help side defense in the rotations?
Just give me a little pride, give me a little effort. Help side rotation, exactly. We got to have that secondary help defender, no doubt. This is going to be, I mean, Fullerton's going to win by 50 if CSUN continues to play like this.
Definitely in need of improvement defensively for sure, Richie. Ball goes to Schreiner in the corner. 8 on the shot clock here for CSUN. No one questions their offense. I mean, it hasn't been great, but they can score when they get hot. Gomez misses there, but you're right. The defense is where it all starts. And Titans having their way. There's a Wishika, another free lane to the basket.
Give me a break. This is like a pickup game. That's embarrassing.
Wishika made a tough shot through contact, but you're right. And then a strip. Titans have numbers. Wishika. A late whistle. They're going to call it on Reggie Theus Jr., and that's now 3. He's only played 4 minutes. Now he's got to come out of the game, and Blair Orr will check in.
Well, look at this. I like the effort by Reggie Theus Jr. He's down there. Here we are talking about how they're not down there on defense. He's there in position, but the foul doesn't go his way, so that's going to be 3 fouls.
You like the heart, you like that he's trying to create something, but when you already have 2 fouls, that's tough to make it a 50-50 chance. It's a miss from Wishka there as Reggie Theus looking on as he sees his son, a senior, have to go to the pine with 3 fouls.
Well, Blair Orr has played, number 42, just checked in, has played 31 minutes on the entire season, less than 20 in conference play. I know CSUN has had a lot of turnaround, a lot of guys not here that was here last year. They have a lot of guys playing Division I basketball for the very first time. Young players, a lot of local area players.
Ball goes into the corner to Gomez. Take it's Pipkins. He's going to go to the line for 2. You mentioned Blair Orr, a really philanthropic guy. I mean, he did have 6 points against Cal State Fullerton last time out, but somebody that's really heavily involved in the community. It'll be an inbound underneath for CSUN here. And that goes off the foot of Cal State Fullerton. It's like the 3rd or 4th kickball in this game. But I like it. Cal State Fullerton using any way they can to get in the passing lane.
Absolutely, you do that. If you can't get your hand on it, get your foot on it. Big deal, they inbound it. It's all good.
Gomez being guarded by Jamal Smith, who basically all season has had the role of guarding the opposing team's best perimeter player. With Mikey Warren not playing tonight, Gomez is that guy for CSUN. Schreiner hits a 3 in the corner, a much-needed trade for CSUN.
Hopefully that gets him going a little bit on the defensive end. When you start making shots, all of a sudden you start seeing more effort on defense. You're seeing CSUN doing a lot of switching around the perimeter.
That 3 stopped a 22-5 run. Meanwhile, an answer right back, Jamal Smith. When it rains, it pours here in the Valley.
And that's all because Ahmad got to the paint, kicked it to the corner, that was kicked to Smith. It's great ball movement. It all starts on the penetration though.
25-5 run for Cal State Fullerton. Last touch by Jamal Smith. It'll go to CSUN when we come back. How about this 3 right there by Smith? All Titans here in the first half.
Assistance Center, youth programming, 50% off dining, year-round social activities, and so much more. It's your kids all the way from home. CSUN alumni, staff, and friends will join today with an exclusive CSUN membership offer by visiting quartervalleymatadors.com or calling 818-360-1071.
Cal State Fullerton on a 25-5 run here as they are pulling away here in the first half. 7:24 to go here on senior night at the Matador. I'm Trent Rush. Ricky Schuler is with me on ESPN. The Matador cheer squad trying to root on this team, trying to get them back into this game. CSUN has the ball right now. We see Schreiner to pass it in. He knocked down a three a couple minutes ago to try to get the Matadors back into the mix, but they got to get it done defensively.
Well, it starts with their ball control. They have 6 turnovers. That's led to 8 Cal State Fullerton points, making 7 turnovers and 10 points off turnovers, and now 22 of 36 points in the paint for Cal State Fullerton.
Ullman now with 13. He's 5 away from 1,000. Ball goes over to Jalen Pipkins. Ball movement down low, and Dawson swatted away by Robertson. The leading shot blocker for the Titans. And a reset. 9 on the shot clock. Pipkins misses there, and that's Amon. Get a rebound. That's Cal State Fullerton. Jackson Rowe with space, gets around Orr and gets the reverse.
I mean, if I'm Cal State Fullerton, I never stop driving the basketball. Have you seen a help side rotation yet?
No, I don't know what else to say. No, I haven't. It's been a problem.
You can't sugarcoat it. You can't.
You can't. Ball goes out to Pipkins. Now it's Orr. Orr knocks it down from the elbow. I tell you what, you can't help but love Blair Orr. I mean, he's just the most likable guy. He rolls in 6'8", comes in on his skateboard every day.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great. He's just embraced Southern California life. Started at the University of Winnipeg. Now here in sunny Southern California. Offensive board and a putback by Robertson. That's just will.
But I like how Orr talked on that ball screen, was yelling. You know, big men have to have big voices in the back. They can see everything. And I also like after he made that bucket, he pointed to his teammate, showing some, team unity, camaraderie.
31-7 run for Cal State Fullerton here, and then Orr picks up a foul. This is Jamal Smith trying to hang on to that rebound. Matadors already having problems with their bigs and foul trouble. Reggie Theus has 3 already.
I tell you what, though, Dawson is a special player. He got to the basket, he took a couple passes to get there. But Dawson is a guy that, if CSUN had a few more weapons around him, I mean, having Mikey Warren in the lineup, he's been out with that concussion you mentioned, just having him in the lineup relieve some pressure off him, because then guys aren't just stacking down inside the paint waiting for you to drive.
CSUN becomes far too easy to defend when it's only Dawson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, because any team you focus on him, and Gomez can knock down some shots, but he's just a freshman. Schreiner can have his moments, but really, you stop Dawson, you're stopping CSUN. Orr with the take, he gets hit now. Blair Orr will go to the line. Redshirt junior from Camarillo, 6'8", 252.
There he is, Orr. Look at the move. That's a good move. Catch the ball. I like the way he ripped it, got his footwork right, and then he attacked the basket, getting into the paint.
There's Blair Orr. First foul shot is up and good. See his numbers on the year, or in his last game, I should say, against Santa Barbara. Career high for him with 6 points.
Well, let's keep in mind that he only had 8 points coming into the game.
42-22. Cal State Fullerton with that 20-point edge. Cal State Fullerton will finish the season at home against Hawaii on Saturday. That could end up being a really big game, maybe a Big West tournament preview of the first round. Taken away by the Matadors. Dawson now. Gomez underneath, and now Matadors will set up the offense. They got to Dawson. Dawson's fall away too, no good. There for positioning, and that rebound was Arkim Robertson. And as good as Cal State Fullerton is, I just think about, man, the fact that Robertson's the only senior in their rotation, they're gonna be scary.
Already are scary.
Yeah, Allman the last miss though, but a second chance. They'll just hang on to it. No rush from Cal State Fullerton. They're having their way. Jamal Smith's three, no good. Here comes Schreiner.
Look at Orr. Look at the way he moves the basketball. That's good. Everybody's touched the ball in this offensive possession.
It's a good look for Blair, but he missed it. Rowe gets the rebound. Gomez tried to get the steal. Gomez plays 34 minutes tonight. Wide open Jackson Rowe with the slam.
They might as well call the game at halftime. I mean, this is clearly out of control. There's no effort whatsoever on the defensive end of the floor. No effort. Cal State Fullerton just running the table. Look at that, wide open, nobody in position. Almost 30 offensive point paints the point.
Here we go. Make some noise for your CSUN cheer team. And now, look up to the skies and emerge the plane. No, it's time for the Matador parachute drop. Catch a parachute to win a prize. If you want a parachute in your section, you gotta make some noise. All the parachutes are still falling. They're making it rain. Don't forget, if you brought a parachute, bring your parachute to the marketing table.
Back to Matadome in the Valley. Deidre Taylor has the team rolling right now. They're up by 22, and every year it seems like Deidre Taylor's team continues to improve, and I think that Cal State Fullerton as a program is in a really good place right now, Richie.
Well, you said only one senior. Last year they lost in the conference tournament semifinals. They hosted a postseason game after it was all over. What I really like about this team is that I've talked about this many times, but when Deidre Taylor came to Cal State Fullerton, he tried to jumpstart the program with a lot of transfers, especially JUCOs. It didn't really work. You know what? It may have worked, but they seem like they always had injuries.
Yeah.
And that was a killer, but he has done it well with high school players. Yes, he has some transfers, but not nearly as many. He loves the character of the team. He says he sleeps well at night. They're unselfish. He likes the group, and that's a good sign, especially them going into their senior years next year.
Well, the Titans nearly had a takeaway, but a second chance here for CSUN after that block. Another opportunity as Schreiner gets down towards the baseline and knocks down the long teardrop. High arcing two.
That's 9 points for Schreiner. He's 3 of 4 from the field. He's had a pair of free throws. He's done a good job effectively on the offensive end.
There's Ullman. Step back. That's money. Man, that is a good move right there. We may be looking at the Big West Player of the Year right there.
You know, he's shown it the last week or so. I tell you, there's a lot of guys you could vote for. Gabe Levin is the leading scorer in the conference at Long Beach State and has a whole lot of rebounds and does a good job on the defensive end of the floor. But Cal State Fullerton's winning more games, so it's hard not to go with him at this point in time. You got Max Heidegger, UC Santa Barbara. You have a whole slew of guys you can talk about. I guess we'll talk about that at halftime, right?
Yeah, that's a good tease. We'll talk about it. I'll give you my pick for Player of the Year. Coach of the Year, I know, is a good conversation. Another take, and the basket is good. And now he's a free throw away from the 1,000-point mark in his career.
Good for him. Good for him. Kyle Ullman, his freshman year, he averaged 5 points a game. You saw the confidence. Last year, he had 10 points a game. And this year, in conference play, he's almost 22 points a game. That's growth.
And there's a grand. A nice milestone for a player that's got a lot more coming. 18 points tonight. Cal State Fullerton by 23. Lead pass on the stop there by Heinzel. Goes to Alicia and the tip slam. Khalil Ahmad flushing it down. Titans almost have him doubled up.
CSUN has to do something to slow the ball down because they're just getting slaughtered in transition. They've got to play better half-court defense. Force Fullerton to play half-court defense, or half-court offense, rather.
Cal State Fullerton as a team doesn't push the pace like they used to. And that's something that Peter Taylor likes about this group, is that they can run their half-court offense better. Offensive foul here going to be called on Devin Clare. But I mean, as a team, Cal State Fullerton, like 96th when it comes to offensive tempo, and that's a stark contrast from a couple of years ago.
Well, here's that foul on Devon Clare, and the official thought that he had used his arm to create space. Gets in that defensive player cylinder. But I think you're right. I think Fullerton is a team that wasn't great in the half court in previous years. But I think they've developed a really strong half-court offense. The team that can play both up and down, they can also play in the half court and be very effective as well.
Ahmad step back, that's a 2, and he rattles it home.
They got some players, man. They've got some players. If they're playing like this in the conference tournament, oh my gosh, they're scary.
Cal State Fullerton shooting 65% right now. Dawson's take gets hit going up. He'll go to the line. Dawson only 4 points in this game. Actually, Lyric Schreiner's leading the way for the Matadors at 9. Nobody else is more than Dawson's 4.
Well, it's a good take. See, this is on transition as well. CSUN does a good job offensively in the transition too, because the defense doesn't know it's coming. It's a good dish to him and a good drive.
Dawson buries that. Meanwhile, for Cal State Fullerton, we talk a lot about Kyle Ullman's 18. How about Arkim Robertson? 10 points, 5 boards here in this first half. He's not on the floor right now as Dawson hits the other number that I really like, if I'm Cal State Fullerton, CSUN with 9 turnovers, Titans with only 2.
And the points off turnovers for Cal State Fullerton are in double digits.
Oh, if that would have fallen, I would have said, I don't know what to do. He's making everything. A rare miss. Okay, he's human. Brown going up. Nearly throws it away. LeVar there to save it. Schreiner trying to get in double figures here, and does with that 2. He's got 11.
He has been a bright spot. Again, I don't think it's the offensive end for CSUN that's the problem. It's the defensive end. I like this timeout by Dedrick Taylor. The average fan would look at this and say, you're up by 23 with 16 seconds. Why are you burning that timeout before halftime? Well, look, this is an opportunity to draw something up and try to execute something that may help your team down the stretch.
This is the kind of scenario where you can set something up for the conference tournament. What happens right now could be exactly what you see at the end of the game, maybe in those 3 days in March coming up next week.
100% agree. You never not take advantage of an opportunity to educate your team. It doesn't matter how much you're up, you're still coaching the game. And so, you know, he's trying to keep his guys focused. It's going to be important to keep them focused coming out of the break, too, because that's huge. Coming out that halftime, you can be overconfident. But, you know, drawing something up here that hopefully will improve this ball club.
Well, and roughly 16 seconds left. I mean, they have plenty of time to run the play they want to set up. And you would have lost that timeout anyways at halftime. So you might as well use it as a teaching moment, create something. Swinging to Claire, he traveled all the way. In the NBA, they would have called that traveling. Unless it was LeBron, maybe. LeBron passed it in. Did you see that the other day where he picked the ball up and took like 3 steps before putting it on the ground?
LeBron did?
It was all over. It was all over Twitter, Facebook.
I missed it.
Kreiner gets it up. Guevara's going to get a 3 off. That doesn't draw iron. That's not going to count, but man, Cal State Fullerton rolling here as we head into halftime. 53-30, all Titans after the opening 20 minutes here for the Matador on ESPN.
Let's have some fun. Fans, please direct your attention to the court and join Maddie as we celebrate senior night here at Matador and recognize the CSUN Spirit Team. From the CSUN cheer team, let's hear it for Faith Mitchell. Faith is a senior on the CSUN cheer team and will walk across the stage this spring to receive her marketing degree. Let's hear it for Cheyenne Powell. Cheyenne will graduate this spring with a degree in psychology. Let's hear it for Alexander Nava. Alexander is a graduate student with the CSUN team that will receive his master's degree in social work this spring. And now, from our CSUN dance team, let's hear it for Alyssa Pilado. Alyssa is the dance team president, has been with the CSUN dance team for 4 years. She'll receive her degree in accounting administration this spring. Next up, make some noise for Jalea Washington. Also has been 4 years with the CSUN dance team while working on her degree in psychology. Selena is the dance team treasurer. Next, let's hear it for Vina, the Diesel. Vina's a risk manager for the dance team and is a kinesiology major. This is her 3rd year on the team. She looks forward to completing a degree in Applied Fitness and Active Lifestyle Development. And our last senior for the dance team is Caitlin DeSanto. She's been 2 years with the CSUN dance team and looks forward to earning her degree in psychology. And last but certainly not least, you see him out there from the Matador band. Make some noise for senior Jacob Martinez. If you know Jacob, he's a spirit and energy for the Matadors and is unmatched in his sex. He sets to graduate on this spring in a degree in arts and culture. A round of applause for all of our spirit team seniors.
Well, senior night hasn't been too pretty for CSUN in the opening 20 minutes. Cal State Fullerton with a 53-30 lead at the break. When we come back, Richie and I are going to talk about some postseason awards next here on ESPN.
Congratulations from the CSUN Women's Track and Field team, Jasmine Barnes, and from CSUN Baseball, Albie White. Congratulations to both of our biology student athletes of the week.
All right, fans, it's time to report about a skills challenge, meant to win. All right, our contestants today, are Steve and Brandon. Brandon, wave at us. Brandon, wave at us. Brandon, wave at us. There you go. Oh, okay, there you go. And Steve, wave at us. All right. When I say go, each contestant's gonna have a minute to make a layup, make a football golf, then hit the ball softballs onto the board cuts to win a golf experience. The board about country club. Are you guys ready? On your mark, get set, go! Okay. Come on. Go. We got 30 seconds. I need you on your feet, everybody. Let's go. I need you on your feet. Come on, man. Over here. Here we go. We want to give out some balloons. Who want one? Everybody up. Who wants one? On your feet if you want one. Let's go. This side. Oh, man. Since you're standing up right here. Here we go. If you want a balloon, make some noise. On your feet. We're on our feet to the first mat in our basket. It's score. Let's get it on.
Back for the second half in the Matadome right now with Cal State Fullerton up by 23. Tavrion Dawson had a tough time scoring in the first half, held to just 6 points. He misses that three here. Now it's Cal State Fullerton bringing up. Half that was all Titans. Cal State Fullerton shooting 63%. They're getting to the basket at will, and deja vu here to start the second.
Well, I think CSUN certainly has to play half-court defense. I think they did a good job of getting Cal State Fullerton to play in that defense, but there is no protection of the basket.
They go to Schreiner, who really was the lone bright spot in that first half for CSUN. Now he's got 13 on that team. Come the Titans the other way. Ullman with 18 points in the first half. Lost it there. They'll stay with Cal State Fullerton. You see Reggie Theus Jr. back in, playing with 3 fouls right now. And he was really limited in the first half. He only played 4 minutes because of that foul trouble. He had 2.5 minutes into this one. Rowe with the long two, and it's missed. Dawson on the rebound. Schreiner again. Might as well feed the hot hand, but he missed. And Robertson gets his 6th rebound. 10 points in the first half. Trying to get it to Rowe and poked loose. If you're Cal State Fullerton, you want to make sure you don't play sloppy. Rowe gets that rejection.
You can get overconfident, you can play sloppy, you can let CSUN right back in the basketball game. They have the ability. Now, Wishaka got all the way into the paint on that fast break, but CSUN did a good job, got the ball down inside to Dawson, and now they get a second chance off the inbound.
Gomez lost it off his foot, picked up by Ahmad, and now a 3-on-2. Lead to Rowe for the slam!
Making your defense become your offense. And that's hard to stop. It doesn't matter, you know, how good you are in half-court or transition defense. If you turn the basketball over, it becomes 2 points on the other end. That's 12 points off 8 CSUN turnovers. 10 CSUN turnovers, I'm sorry.
Theus missed after splitting 2. Ullman draws contact, and now we'll go to the line. Man, Cal State Fullerton is so good at that. They get into the paint, they get whistles, and they get to the line.
That's right, they take advantage of it like this. Ullman going inside the body of Tavrion Dawson. See, here's the issue. And we've already seen it twice in this half. In transition here, nobody is stopping Cal State Fullerton. You try to teach your guys to at least get them right about half court, and maybe where that old volleyball marker is, certainly not the three-point line. You better have slowed them down and gotten control of them. You don't want them driving inside the three-pointer, certainly not getting inside the paint. We talk about protecting the paint, but you have to slow the ball down long before it gets there in transition.
See Kyle Allman's last numbers up there in conference. He's got 19 tonight after missing that second free throw. That's been his season average in conference play. Rowe got his hand on that. Robertson last to touch it, so it'll stay with CSUN. And was trying to chip away at this huge deficit right now, down 26. CSUN has had some chances too. If they end up not making the tournament, you think about some missed opportunities. They had a double overtime loss at Cal Poly a couple of weeks ago. Lost at home to Riverside here on Valentine's Day. That three was missed by Brown. Those are some big ones. I mean, the Matadors this season have blown 7 second-half leads.
Well, some of that's just inexperience. A lot of new players, a lot of young players, a lot of transfers that never played Division I.
I wish you could have Robertson for the easy finish.
Robertson's had a couple thunder slams in this game off teammates dishing down into him.
You'd love to see CSUN kind of take some pride in this and want to climb back and show it on the defensive side. There's Dawson going up. He lost it. Robertson with the strength. There's Allman with the pro step and lays it in. For CSUN, it's about finishing, and it's been a problem. They've lost their last 5, 9 of 10, and a timeout on the floor right now. 16:26 remaining here in this game. Cal State Fullerton dominated at the Matadors.
I see Section 10 is down there lit right now. Section 10 is lit. Let me see what y'all know. Let me see. I'm trying to hold from here. Yeah. Hey, wait. I bet you won't do that flip again. Tell me. I bet he won't do that flip again. Tell him to do three flips in a row. Yeah. Oh, we act like, 3 flips in a row. Let's go. And if you fall, I'm putting it on World Star. Let's go. 1, 2. Okay, all right. Make some noise for him one time. Don't make me come out of retirement. I got a mean cartwheel. Oh, you want to get some? He's still going. Okay. He's not the only one that flipped on this team. Here we go. Don't make me come over there and do a cartwheel. Oh, represent the ladies.
Kyle Allman hitting a milestone earlier tonight. Welcome to the 1,000-point club, Kyle. He's got a game-high 21. There he is, just battling second chances. He's knocked down some jumpers. He gets to the basket at will, and then can do that from distance.
He's impressive. The fact that he's improved dramatically over the course of his 3 years, he has doubled his scoring average from one year to the next. 5 points to 10 points his sophomore year to 21.5 in conference play this year. He has been dynamic. And I'm telling you, if he continues playing like this, and Cal State Fullerton can crack the top 3 by regular season's end, how can you not vote him for Player of the Year? I mean, I know TJ Shorts is there.
Right, and numbers-wise, you would say Allman over Shorts.
Shorts has got some numbers, though.
I know he does. The reason I say Shorts
5 assists a game for Shorts?
Because of what he has meant to UC Davis with the absence of Chima Manekis. That shot is missed. Second chance for Robertson, just earning that bucket. But going back to that conversation, with Shorts, the reason I like him so much is his ability to control games and the fact he's got 2 game winners this year. That shouldn't be lost on anybody. Ahmad threw that one away. Schreiner got hit on the other end. So after the turnover by Ahmad, a foul on the other side. But how about this? Arkim Robertson, everybody getting to the mix. It's the tight senior on the Matador senior night. Fullerton's got him doubled up.
Dr. Dominic Cisco and the other organizations to do the proud partners of Matador Athletics. With their goal of avoiding full knee, shoulder, and hip replacement surgery, and through returning each patient to a healthy, active lifestyle with less pain, scarring, and faster rehabilitation and recovery. Dr. Cisco is proud to be the official orthopedic surgeon of Matador Athletics. For more information, visit laortho.org.
Y'all see him doing a handstand? He can't do a handstand. Let's see. How long can you stay up? No, let me see it. Here we go. Here we go. I bet you can't stay up for 30 seconds. Here we go. Go. Count it off. Right. I won already. See that? Easy as that. Come on, let's go. All right, there you go. 14, 13, 12. I won.
There's a look at Kyle Ullman, one of the candidates for Player of the Year in the Big West Conference. He's got a game-high 21 points tonight. It's Cal State Fullerton and CSUN doubled up here, 64-32. Trent Rush, Richie Schuler with you. And Richie, when you look at Ullman's chances of Player of the Year, what's a handicap for us? Who are the guys you're looking at?
Well, I think Kyle Ullman is probably my #1 right now, but right there with him is TJ Shorts of UC Davis. We talked about him. Max Heidegger at UC Santa Barbara, who's started out the season just incredible, like 21 points a game. It's gone down a little bit in conference play, but he's still been terrific and shooting the ball really well. And then there's Gabe Levin, and Gabe Levin is the one that makes it very difficult for me because he's 22 points a game at Long Beach State. 7.5 boards, gets a block a game, shoots over 40% from 3. I've heard people very much compliment his defense. And the problem is that Long Beach State's 7-7. And it's hard for me to vote for a Player of the Year. I don't get a vote, but it's hard for me to pull for a Player of the Year who's not in top 3 in their league or not competing for a championship. That's difficult for me. Gabe Levin, I think if they had won 2 or 3 more games, I think more people would vote for him.
Schreiner with that free throw. I saw him in a game against this Cal State Fullerton team where Levin just went absolutely crazy. He and Yusuf get firing on all cylinders. I mean, Long Beach State's as tough to stop as anybody. Schreiner misses on one end, Owishka pushing on the other, and he lays it in. You go back to TJ Shorts, the guy that I have picked. Again, we don't get votes in this, but it's fun to talk about. I mentioned the numbers might not be gaudy. Well, I mean, he's averaging over 17 points a game in conference. That's 5th in this league. He's the leading man in assists, the top facilitator in Big West play. When you look at those kind of numbers and his impact, I don't know how you would not vote for Shorts. Plus, he's great defensively. That's an important thing for me, too. And maybe that's why I give him more love than maybe a guy like a Max Heidegger who's a great scorer, but doesn't have that whole package, including the defense, as Owishka lays that one in.
I think if you're looking at stats, if you're a stat guy, okay, now coaches vote because they know the impact on the floor. Kind of like Jonathan Galloway, right? His stats don't show that he's Defensive Player of the Year, but a lot of coaches are going to vote him. Why? Because he has that impact on the floor. But TJ Shorts and Max Heidegger, if you compare stats, you have a better stat line in TJ Shorts and UC Davis. I mean, you have points per game are exactly the same in conference, but Shorts has more rebounds per game. He has more assists per game. He has more steals per game. He shoots 3-pointers better from a percentage standpoint.
That's Reggie Theus Jr. after that assist from Anthony Swan. Fullerton's got this one extending to 31 points right now.
If season were to end today, and it's going to end on Saturday, Kyle Ullman and TJ Shorts have to be your top 2.
Yeah. I'm totally with you on there, and it's close. If Cal State Fullerton finishes strong and they win their final 2 games, and UC Irvine beats UC Davis on Saturday, I think Ullman could be the guy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
It's a nice block by Schreiner, but I'm right there with you. I mean, I still think Levin may get some votes, and even Heidegger, but it's just like the conference is a logjam in the standings. You know, some of these players that you would vote for in these postseason awards, it's a logjam. I mean, there's so many. It's tight, and because the teams are so tight in the race, I think, therefore, it's a tight race in some of these postseason awards.
And rightfully so. And there hasn't been that clear-cut guy. I mean, if Chima Maneki didn't have his indefinite suspension and he was still playing, I think that's a guy that, I think we thought coming into the year he had the talent and the ability to maybe run away with some of these awards, but that just hasn't been the case this year. And that's been an unfortunate circumstance down there at UC Davis. We still don't have any answers as to what's going on. You just you got to highlight what TJ Shorts has done, and that's another reason why I think it's really down to Jim Les and Russ Turner for Coach of the Year as well, because everything that UC Davis has gone through. I know you picked Jim Les, and I really think those two are going to be competing for that award. Not that it matters all that much to either one of them, but they're great coaches, and they're going to be competing for that on Saturday game, which we're going to have on Watch ESPN.
You can make arguments for either one of those guys. Russ Turner, Jim Les. You can make arguments for either one of those guys.
You know what I love about this conversation, Richie? You and I talked about this on the phone earlier this week, and every time I will say a name, you will talk yourself into it's like you talk yourself into the guy that like I picked, and then I do the same thing. Whoever you picked, I like convince myself it's your guy. It's well, no, so are you then. It goes both ways. Again, that's just kind of how close it is.
Does Dedrick Taylor get votes for Cal State Fullerton?
I think Dedrick Taylor deserves some lifetime achievement accomplishments. I think what he's doing with this team and this program, he has them in a really good place.
But incrementally too.
Last year, I would have voted him Coach of the Year. Pipkins tried to bring the house down, didn't do it. Allman got in the way and fouled him. No, I would have voted Dedrick Taylor as Coach of the Year last year. And again, with his team where they're at right now, at 9-5 in Big West, he deserves consideration, just not above the other guys ahead of him.
You're right, Pipkins tried to throw the house down. No doubt about that. 2 points, though. 2 free throws, I should say.
Trying to make it 2 points. He gets the fourth.
I think there's going to be people that are going to vote for Joe Pasternak at UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had the worst record in the conference a year ago. In his first year, he's got them in a really good place.
They started out so hot, everybody thought he was a runaway Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I think with Canty, his absence, what's he been out, 5-6 games?
Right. Leland Kingsman, what a great addition he's been this year. Yeah.
Well, the 2 players that he recruited to that team that's getting big minutes this year, I think it was 2, is it Marcus Jackson, the point guard?
Yeah.
And Leland King, outstanding players.
Picked up by Claire for the easy lane. Boy, the second chances for Cal State Fullerton are coming at will. 28-point game. Schreiner was the leading scorer in the first half. Corner 3 is good. That's Anthony Swan, the LA native transfer from George Washington University, gets it to 25. This is fun. This is that fun time of year. We got to get to speculate on what's going to happen. Allman misses there, but Rowe on the offensive glass. Put back, no. Second chance doesn't go either. Still fighting for it. It'll be Cal State Fullerton ball when we come back. Titans by 25. Final 11-19 when we return here on ESPN.
Here we go.
Yeah. Ride with the mob, alhamdulillah. Check in with me and do your job. Bird is the name, the bullet is the chain. 12-word watch, pressing plain Jane. Give me the chain, rest in peace, that much superior. Bird is the leader, village and the dirty. TMZ, television for the bacteria.
Make some noise for your CSUN dancing. All right, now turn your attention to the court side, middle section 4 for Mitch's team of the game. Today's Mitch's team of the game, my dude Sebastian. Make some noise for my man Sebastian. He's going to receive a cool prize courtesy of Mitch's Granada Hill. Don't forget Mitch's Granada Hill is a proud partner of Matador Athletics. Come on, Raleigh Squad. Dropping all that mess. See what you got.
It's a big week here in Northridge. Big night coming up on Friday night. Men's volleyball in the Big West. The first game ever of Big West men's volleyball is going to be here on Watch ESPN. #1 Long Beach State going to be in the house. That's going to be Friday. They got reigning Coach of the Year, reigning Player of the Year, India DeFalco. It's been incredible. And then the Big West men's volleyball tournament, April 19th to the 21st, going to be at the Pyramid in Long Beach, California. It's going to be awesome. Definitely looking forward to catching that. Again, the debut of Big West men's volleyball Friday night here in the Matadome with #1 Long Beach State in town. CSUN ranked 12th in the top 15 poll as it goes up to Claire. Big West men's volleyball is equivalent to like what the SEC was in football when they were in their heyday about 3-4 years ago.
Best league in the country, right?
No doubt.
How many teams in the top 5? 2, 3?
Well, they got Long Beach State's #1. They have UC Irvine's at 2. Hawaii is at 4. That's 3 in the top 4. And UCLA, the other that's up in there. I got to double check that. I know it's 3 in the top 4. I might have the order wrong, but I know Long Beach State's 1.
I love that the Big West Conference is covering now men's volleyball on ESPN. It's big time.
We'll see how this CSUN men's basketball team is able to close out this game, kind of get back into the mix. Matadors have lost 5 in a row, 9 of 10. Last year they lost their final 6 games. The year before that they lost 5 of their final 6 games. It has been tough down the stretch for Reggie Thea's teams here at CSUN. Going towards the basket. Schreiner, who now is going to go to the line after the foul by Ahmad. It's now year 5 for Reggie Theas here at CSUN. And I know that when he was hired, there were expectations he was going to be able to turn it around quickly. He's had a lot of challenges here. Now, granted, next year will be their first, where he's had a full bevy of scholarships due to a number of circumstances. As that 3 is cleared by Gomez, but it's been tough for 5 years for Reggie Theas.
2 of the first 3 years they weren't able to compete in postseason play. That changed things.
Yeah.
They had a lot of talent. I think they were the most talented team in the conference last year. Well, a lot of people will say that. Definitely top 2 or 3 in the league. This year, it's a completely new group, and it's a young group, and it's a guy. It's a team that was mostly recruited from April through August, and a lot of players that have never played Division I basketball. And Coach Diaz talked about how they're a low motor team, not enough toughness. Wanted them to be better. We saw signs of that, but you know, one of the best players they lost was Kendall Smith.
Yep.
Kendall Smith, who's now starting at Oklahoma State. He's killing it over there at 24 points in Oklahoma State's win at Kansas, 20 points versus West Virginia. He hit a 3-pointer to go into overtime against Trae Young in Oklahoma before they started losing a lot of games in February. And you know, it's just amazing the year that he's had playing as a grad transfer in the Big 12. That's a talented player.
They're still looking for their first winning season here in the Reggie Theas era. 17 and 18 in year 1. They went to the Big West Conference Tournament Championship game, lost that game to 7-seed Cal Poly. As that take by Schreiner is up and good. And they've had 3 20-loss seasons since.
There was a time in this Theas era where CSUN, and this is a great move by Schreiner, by the way. He's having a terrific night. That's 20 points now, I believe, for Schreiner. I think that, yeah, 20. So there was a time when it didn't matter where CSUN was ranked in the regular season. They were going to be the scariest team in Big West tournament.
Easy slam right there. Josh Pitts, a freshman from Texas.
I mean, Josh Pitts could have poured himself a cup of coffee and drank it before any defense came around him on that dump down dunk.
Shot missed there by Gomez. Owishika flying towards the basket, coast to coast for the lay-in. Titans by 26. Now Schreiner. They go to Theus. Theus got it on the ground before the travel. Able to get it into the corner before Swan would miss the three. Cal State Fullerton shooting 60% in this game. Take it away, fast break opportunity. Pickens with the ball. Another freshman athlete they have here at CSUN.
We're gonna see Blair Oregon in this game. Played 7 minutes, got 4 points.
Hey Richie, you know how you mentioned at halftime that you don't see many teams get to 64 points in the paint in the game?
What are they at now?
They're at 56 with that lay-in right there by Jamal Smith.
Going for 75. It's 64 at this point.
Yeah, and 8 away. We're close. 80 to 54 right now. They go to Schreiner. Theus Jr. for three. Yeah, it's been tough for Cal State Fullerton to have more points in the paint. Now 58. Then CSUN has the team 54.
Why does CSUN even bother going inside the three-pointer? They're not guarding anybody down there. Just stop at the volleyball line and let them take layups. What's the point? You're just going to foul them if you do anything and get them free throws. There's no defense being played here. This is embarrassing. Cal State Fullerton putting on a show in this game.
University 76 is the official fuel and store of CSUN Athletics. Show your CSUN faculty, staff, student, or CSUN alum ID, and you'll get 3 cents off per gallon. The best part, that 3 cents is donated to CSUN Athletics. For more credentials, by pulling up with top-tier gas at University 76, located on the corner of Liberty and Nordoff.
All right, it's time for the kiss cam. If you next see a move, snuggle up. Let's see.
Cal State Fullerton putting on a clinic inside. How about this, Richie? Dunk after dunk after dunk. Roll, Wishika, tip slam for Ahmad. Everybody getting to the hoop tonight for Cal State Fullerton.
58 points in the paint for Cal State Fullerton. Wow, Cal State Fullerton is looking explosive. The way, what I love about it is most all these dunks are coming off an assist. Look at this dipsy-do. Boom. I like it. 14 assists to 10 turnovers. This is the team that everybody's getting in the mix. Look at the guys at the end of the bench. They're chomping at the bit. We want our opportunity to get into this game, too.
Cal State Fullerton at a season-high 21 assists against CSUN the first time these teams met. And now 14 in this game. They won that night by 18. Well, right now up by 28. That's Dawson down low. Boy, that's a nice bucket right there by Dawson. He's been held in relative check tonight. Dawson now has 8 on 3 of 11 shooting. Claire lays it. The initial stop was there. The rotation and the help wasn't.
Yeah, that's something that it's going to be hard to change with only 1 game left in the season for them on Saturday. But there's clearly a problem here with Telpside defense, and it's something that, you know, I think with this loss right here, this is it, right?
Yeah, this is the final game of the year for CSUN. Going to the basket there is Josh Pitts, who gets hit going up. A tough way for CSUN to close out. I mean, to think that you lose your final 6 games 2 years in a row, That's tough. Reggie Theus just picked up his 4th.
So yeah, I was mistaken. On Saturday, this is the final game. Well, I'll be interested to see what players for CSUN will be back. Mikey Warren is out with a concussion. He's going to graduate. Tavrion Dawson, he's a senior, graduating. Reggie Theus Jr., senior. But all these other guys could be back. And what kind of recruiting will be done to improve the roster? What kind of offseason will the coaching staff have?
You know Reggie Theus is going to bring talent in. A great recruiter and can bring in elite players. No doubt about that. There's Jonathan Guevara Jr., JC transfer. I mean, I look at a guy that has the ball in Terrell Gomez right now. He's been a big bright spot for them. He knocks down a 2. They may want to review this one. They called it 2 points. Ball gets pushed ahead. Ramos. Right side now, Ben Zant. As Cal State Fullerton is basically their bench in at the moment. Awishka into the corner. Ramos 3, and it's good.
3-point basket for Dwight Ramos.
To see Ramos get into the action. Local player, about 20 minutes away from Fullerton, West Covina. He was in and out of the rotation earlier in the year, and now you're seeing him. When he gets in the game, that's what he's looking to do. He's going to take 3-point shots.
Dawson's 3-ball missed. Van Zant going up and getting a big rebound. He's going to bring it up the floor for Fullerton, right to the basket. Alters his shot in midair. Count it. That's a highlight reel play from the freshman from Midland, Texas.
It's good to see some of these younger players get to the action. Van Zant has a chance, and you can see him there. He has the ability to change the pace of the game. He does it on both sides of the floor. And here's a player who, in his senior year, missed the entire season due to injury. Had he played his senior year, he might have got some offers from some Power 5 conferences. You never know. He was 30 points a game, 6 assists, first team All-State in the state of Texas. But when you get injured like that, you don't want to take a chance on, and you're kind of hitting for that year.
Silky bucket right there for Gomez, who's now in double figures with 10. Shriners led the way with 20. It shouldn't be lost. I know it's a brutal loss for CSUN, but he's been 7-11 in this game. Shriner's been very good. Josh Pitts, meanwhile, able to score inside. Now Josh Pitts is 7 points. 3 of 3 from the floor. Back over to Gomez. Dialing long distance.
Yeah, this may be the last game, but he's looking forward to potentially being the freshman of the year.
He's got to rack up some numbers now. He's got 13. 4 assists, 6 turnovers tonight. So if you're Gomez, you got to be chucking every chance. Go get that award. Why not?
I think what's made him so good, though, is he's taking good shots most of the season. You know what I mean? That's why his percentage is like 45% from 3. He takes good selective shots, not forcing things.
The fact that he's playing 34 minutes is crazy. Another 3 right there. Gomez now with 16 points. 4 of 6 from behind the arc. Gomez was good against Santa Barbara, too, at 4 threes in that game as well. Ramos misses the 3. Claire gets the second chance. Now Pitts on the take. That's no good. Pitts gets the rebound. Now his second effort gets knocked loose. Ball still free, and there's Gomez to pick it up. Right down the other side. That's good. Jonathan Guevara with the win. .64 points in the paint for Cal State Fullerton.
That's the number, huh?
That's the magic number tonight. You said it at halftime.
They had 32 at halftime. I also didn't think they'd get to 64.
We're here. 93-68. Gomez trying to keep this magic going. Heat check. Not happening. Van Zant to bring it up for the Titans. Inside of 4 minutes now in this game. Cal State Fullerton home for a talented Hawaii team next. That's coming up on Saturday. Pitts on the offensive glass gets hit going up, and he'll go to the stripe after this. We'll close out this game coming up next. 3:44 to go with the Titans in complete control.
All right, fans, get on your feet, make some noise for our Matador, Spirit Kings. Who wants a shirt? I need some noise out there. Who wants one? Good catch. I got a secret weapon. I got a secret weapon for his free throws. I can't wait.
Back to the Matadome, Terrell Gomez, final game here in his freshman campaign, has been on fire from three here in the second half. He's got 4 of them, 16 points overall. He's definitely a bright spot for CSUN here tonight.
Inglewood High School product. Took his high school team to the state tournament, second round a year ago. Always talked about his mindset, being 5'8", but your mindset should be 7 foot.
He plays that way. You see some of the leaders. Gomez, look at those numbers from distance. Jackson Roseman so good inside. Kyle Allman Jr. is the smart shooter. Allman's been great tonight, 23 points, 7 of 12 shootings, made 8 free throws, 4 boards. Cal State Fullerton is 4 right now in double figures. And Pitts has 8. Smith is 9, Ahmad has 9. They could end up with 6 in double figures, maybe 7. Pitts, yes. 95 points for Cal State Fullerton.
Returning for the Titans, number 21, Jonathan Heinzel.
Cal State Fullerton on their way to their longest regulation or highest scoring regulation game this season. That goes off of Reggie Theus Jr.'s hands out of Pipkins. It's Guevara knocking down the tray. Credit to CSUN for battling on the offensive side here in the second half. Knocking down some threes to get back into this. I mean, they're shooting over 50% in the second half. Corner tray, Vincent, it's good.
This is one thing that Cal State Fullerton hasn't had in a lot of the years that Dedrick Taylor's been head coach, and that's depth off the bench. And you're seeing some guys here that, because there are so many veteran returners, it was hard for the newcomers to get minutes early on. I remember talking to Coach Taylor about that, but you're seeing it. You're seeing it here. You're seeing guys come off the bench here towards the end of the game with the game decided, but they're making plays happen.
Reggie Theus Jr. now is 6. Ramos with a handoff to Van Zandt. Titans trying to hit the century mark. Landon Kirkwood. Ramos with a dump off down low. Heinzel goes up and scores. There's 100 for CSUN, or for Cal State Fullerton, excuse me. For Cal State Fullerton, a team still technically in the mix, trying to earn a share of the Big West title. That 3 is good. Right there by Carl Brown. Started this game with Mikey Warren out with a concussion. First game he's missed. Ball down low, and there's a layup for Van Zandt. Now 102 points for Cal State Fullerton. It's their highest total in any game all season long. They had 101 in double overtime against Cal Poly. Jumper missed. Was a single overtime. Now Cal State Fullerton's going to walk it up under 90 seconds to go. Cal State Fullerton still needs help to get that share of the Big West crown, but they're still alive in their hopes. Almost picks it up. And that brings it back out. Ramos, no. Rebound by Theus Jr. And here's the final minute from the Matadome. Timeout on the floor to get to the Suns. Alex Sokol, the freshman from San Jose, will come in. And he's going to be joined by a couple of other guys. Looks like Anthony Swan, Blair Orr, as Reggie Theus is going to enter the bench here on senior night. A tough night for the Matadors, to say the least, here with a minute left.
See him give his son, Reggie Theus Jr., a little tap on the head. That's a special dynamic. And I know for Reggie Theus Jr., it's not easy playing for your father. And they've done it. And now that's going to be a lifelong memory in the Theus family for the rest of their lives.
Solko with an airball. You just saw it pop up on your screen. Big game coming up on Saturday in the Big West Conference. UC Irvine hosting UC Davis. It's homecoming for the Anteaters that night. A lot at stake.
Second personal foul.
And a share of the Big West crown, part of it. If UC Irvine wins that game, they will have clinched at least a share of the Big West crown 5 of 6 years. Now, they may end up being the 2 seed if UC Santa Barbara wins out, but they'd still be conference champions, as would UC Santa Barbara in that case. UC Davis wins, they could still be conference champs. And Cal State Fullerton seeing a scenario where they can have a piece of the pie. Then Zant misses both.
I think it's going to be, well, we might have a share of the regular season, but I think it's going to be very difficult to have the regular season champ also be the tournament champ.
Yes, I agree.
There's too much parity in the league.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Right.
It's about getting to the big dance.
The regular season will get you an NIT,
yes,
if you're the #1 seed, but the NCAA tournament is all about winning and March.
It's important to win a league title, but everybody wants to be part of the big dance. Those 3 days in March. Cal State Fullerton season high 102 to beat CSUN 102-76 the final. There's the final horn. And the Titans spoil the Matador senior night and eliminate CSUN from having their chance at a tournament bid in the Big West Conference.
Cal State Fullerton, under the leadership of that man right there, Dedrick Taylor, has made some serious strides, especially over the last couple of years. And Dedrick Taylor has a group here that very well could win the conference tournament. They will be in the mix, and still an opportunity to potentially finish in a 4-way tie in the Big West regular season championship.
For Cal State Fullerton to finish with 4 guys in double figures. Kyle Allman led the way with 23. Robertson finished with 12 and 8. 10 points for Jackson Rowe. Austin Owishika with 11 points tonight. Smith added 9 for CSUN. Schreiner led the way for the Matadors with 20. Terrell Gomez, the freshman, at 16. Tavion Dawson held to just 8 points tonight. As we get a look at the potential bracket, is Tavion Dawson going to be celebrated here on senior night at CSUN. If the tournament were to begin tonight, this is what it would look like at the moment. But again, even though Cal State Fullerton, the 4 seed right now, like we mentioned before, they still have a chance to have a share of the Big West Championship. That's how tight it is in this Big West Conference. Absolutely crazy. Impressive performance tonight for Cal State Fullerton. 102 points this evening. Let's bring it now to our courtside booth. We got Kyle Allman hanging with us right now. Kyle Allman, 23 points for you tonight. Another big-time performance. 102 as a team. How'd you feel about